Hello everybody, welcome to Fate, a very old dungeon crawler that I played when I was much younger. And we are just going to jump into it with the default character and everything. We're going to have a doggo as our companion.
Since oldest living memory, the dungeon gate has stood in the heart of the old wood. Its doorway leads to infinite possibility, to subterranean lands fabled in stories and myths. Many adventurers have passed over that ancient threshold, some to find fame, glory, and wealth beyond telling, and others never to return. The town of Grove has ever been the safe haven at the dungeon's mouth, a watering hole and resting place for weary adventurers. Here great tales are told by the inn's fire, journeys are planned, and legacies are made. The minstrels sing of the great feats of heroes long gone, and statues ring the square, a testament to their deeds. After traveling many hard and dusty days, you and your faithful companion arrive at last in the fabled forest town, which waits beneath the long shadow of the gate. Within these walls lies the path to infinite adventure. It is here that you will test your worth, and perhaps find fortune and glory along the way. It is here that you will determine your fate.
Alright, so that's the basic premise. So, in the town of Grove with the dungeon, this is our master quest. So this is what we have to... This is like the ultimate end-all be-all goal. Once we succeed in doing this, which is Tales Tell of a great elite venomous wyvern whose name is spoken in whispers, Batcutter the Grim. For centuries it has waited on the 45th level of the dungeon, its evil seeping up toward the town. You must destroy it once and for all, and rid the world of its evil influence. It is your fate, adventurer. Will you meet it? And once we complete that goal, we can retire our adventurer and start a new adventure of his lineage, and we get like a cool heirloom item. I personally have never done that. I just read that on the wiki because I am not very good at this game. And so we're going to try our best to see if we can do that. This is the town of Grove. There are various NPCs you can see here on the map. I'll try to point out like kind of the important ones. We also have a storage trunk, which we can put items in to like that we don't want to carry on our inventory because our inventory is somewhat limited. It's a grid-based system as well, kind of like Resident Evil. Some NPCs will give us quests like this guy. So I was traveling in the dungeon and lost my Devil Crusher studded cap of basics. If you'd be kind enough to get it back for me, I'd pay you for your trouble. I'm pretty sure I lost it on the 3rd level. I'll give you this elven amulet of life as a reward. You can find the dungeon entrance in the... Okay. So we don't have to accept this now. We can go back to him and accept it later. You can only have 3 quests at a time. What we want to try to do is have all of our 3 quests on the same floor and on the floor that's closest to where we're at. So we're starting on the 1st floor. So ideally we want something with three quests that are on the 1st floor to kind of get us going. So that's on the level 3. This is level 2. A Voltic Gel named Dragonbreaker attacked a caravan of goods bound for town and took a valuable Flame Cutter's Elven Amulet of Warriors from the wagons. It has retreated to level 1 with it. If you return it to me, I can make it up to you. I'll give you a scimitar of protection as a reward. You can find the dungeon entrance. Okay. So this is something that we want. We want level 1, and this also brings up an interesting point of the game.
You have received a task.
So our goal is to destroy the creature on level 1 and retrieve the amulet that it drops. So a few things of note with quests is that they're useful, obviously because of the rewards that they give here at the bottom, but they basically guarantee the spawn of like that special enemy, whereas it might not normally be there. And also, you don't have to return the item that you get from the quest. So if we really like this Flame Cutter's Elven Amulet of Warriors, we don't have to return it. We can just cancel the quest and then be on our way. So it's always in the best interest to get a quest. So this is another level 3. Getting a little unlucky with the quest here, level 3 as well. We had a quest for level 2. So let's go ahead and grab that quest, which I believe was over here. A modeled lurker named Lazaroth and its army of bats has stolen a Cabthazul's Pick of Seasons and taken it to level 2. Defeat the rabble and return Cabthazul's Pick of Seasons. I'll give you this leather boots of the magician as a reward. Alright, so we'll take this one, and we'll just take this one from this fine man here. Ranaloth the skeleton has assembled an army of rats and is advancing on the town from level 3. Help us by defeating them, and the town will reward you for your bravery. So this doesn't reward us an item, but it's still good. In terms of the rewards, we all get gold, experience, and something called fame. Fame is a sort of level that you have within the town. It levels up your renown. And when you level up your renown, we will get extra skill points that we can put into our skills. And we can also... it's also a requirement for certain items and weapons to have renown. A certain level of renown. And I'll try to point that out if we see any at this time. We don't really have that much money. In fact, we have very little money, 250 gold pieces. But what I will buy, first off, from this fine gentleman, is a fishing rod. So, as you can see, fishing poles allow you to fish when you see a cloud of fireflies. Feeding fish to your pet transforms it into more powerful creatures. You can find fishing poles in town and throughout the dungeons. You can also find rare items by fishing. So we can quite literally fish legendary items if we so choose. So I'll be doing that at some point, but the bigger, more common benefit is getting these fish that you can transform your pet into various creatures. Now, depending on the quality of fish, it will determine how long it will be transformed for. And if we get essentially a perfect fish, we can permanently transform our pet into that animal. So, let's just jump into it. There are a few other things, bits and bobs and mechanics about this game that I'll kind of bring up and talk about once we get into it. We're in the dungeon now, and we're just going to see what we can find. It's all procedurally generated with the layout and the creatures and the enemies in them. I will say your pet is a hard carry, especially early on, and especially when you start transforming him. So I just turned on a little option to reveal all the items on the ground so we don't accidentally miss something. Alright. Okay, so... yeah. Oh. So, in our inventory, again, it's a grid system. Our pet also has an inventory and stats that we can transfer things to. So, we can have him wear jewelry or hold stuff in his inventory. We can also send our pet back to town to sell all the items in his inventory, which can be useful if you want to stay on a floor for longer. And our pet also has his own stats, which compared to my stats is generally a lot better than mine. Eventually, once we transform our pet too, we can teach him, if he gets like a magic type of creature transformation, we can teach him spells. So that was a special enemy. You can tell by like kind of the purple text on his health bar. And we found a gemstone. So gemstones bestow magical properties on items when installed. Search for an item with sockets and install the gemstone by dropping it on the item. And I actually believe our belt has a socket. So our cloth belt has a socket and an obsidian so we have to place it on a socket. It's +2 knockback when installed. I don't think I'm gonna do that for right now, just because I have a melee weapon, so I want to keep enemies somewhat close. Let's see, do we want to use the spear? 1 to 10, no. We'll just stick with our axe for now. Okay, that was an empty chest. But the idea of tempting fate is a big thing in this game, so there'll be certain random encounters or objects that we can interact with that will give us a chance to have a benefit or a chance to hurt us. And certain creatures like these gels will have weaknesses and strength and resistances to various types of weapons. Generally, there's not much you can really do about it. There's not a whole lot of like weapon switching that you can do. I just accidentally drank a potion, which is fine. We can also give our pet potions, but also. So these pools of water here have a chance to spawn or to have those like kind of floating fireflies where we can fish. But unfortunately we are unlucky and do not get such a thing. Our character can also learn spells and of various types. Right now we don't think we know any spells. I'll check after we kind of clear this area out. Let's see. Yep, no spells. But there are 3 schools, essentially. Attack, defense, and charm. And there are corresponding skills to go with them. And once we do find a magic item, which we haven't yet, it will most often be unidentified. So we have to use a identification scroll to identify it. And there's also a spell that we could use instead if we have the right, I think it's charm level, depending on our charm level. So we can see we can
gained in experience and skill.
Yep, so we just gain a level. So we will take a look at that once we're done clearing these enemies out. We also found the entrance to the next floor. So we don't want to go down there quite yet because we still have an open quest to kill Dragon Breaker. So we'll try to find that before we think about descending. Alright. Just pick it up. Eventually, we will stop just picking up absolutely everything. But right now, while we are very poor and need money, we will just pick up everything. Also, we can use, to get back to town, we have to climb out of the dungeon, so the deeper we are, the longer it takes to get out of the dungeon. However, you can use these town teleport scrolls to instantly teleport back to town and from wherever you are in the dungeon. And once you're in town, you can come back to the dungeon wherever you left off from that portal. Alright. Oh, this looks like Dragon Breaker. This guy knows some spells, so it might be a little tough. Let's try to take care of this rat. Okay. I think we should be good now. Thankfully, he doesn't have too many rats. Otherwise, it could be very dangerous. Alright, Flame Cutter's Amulet of Warriors.
The quest is completed.
Awesome. So, let's check this out. So, it's a like light blue, teal colored item, which means it's a unique. I don't know the exact verbiage, but essentially there's like common items, then there's magic items, which are purple. There's legendaries, which are yellow, and uniques, which are these teal colors. pillars. So we can choose not to turn this in. We can just cancel the quest and get out of here. Or keep the item, rather. But I think we want this scimitar. Because it is going to be a big weapon upgrade, because I believe all quest items, or at least items that have like a special long name, are going to be unique or legendary. So that will be a big upgrade for us. Oh, in terms of leveling up, we can level up. We have like stat points on our left here, which we can put into strength, dexterity, vitality, and magic, which increase various aspects of our character. So strength is just straight damage dealt, doesn't matter on the weapon. Dexterity is accuracy and how likely we are to dodge. Vitality is life, and as well as stamina, which stamina generally only matters right now for the purposes of running, which tends to not be too much of an issue because you put some in vitality anyway for life, so you just end up having enough stamina regardless. And magic is the amount of mana points you have available and how much damage you do with spells. In addition to these stats, you can see we also have, like I mentioned, we have a character level and experience, our current experience, and also our renown, which kind of affects our name. So we are Joseph the Unknown because we have 1 renown and no one knows us. We just came into town. We can get fame by not only completing quests, but just killing special, unique, powerful monsters. And for skill points, we have 2 right now. You don't get very many skill points from leveling your character. You get, I think, 4 from leveling up your renown. So it's better to level up your renown if you want skill points specifically, but you don't get any ability points. There are all sorts of different skills, most of them revolving around weapons. From the top down is pretty much just straight weapons, all the different, like sword, club and mace, hammer, etc. Bow and crossbow are linked together. But then once you get kind of towards the middle, we have critical strike, which is your critical strike chance. How fast we have spell casting, which is how fast you cast spells, because casting spells in this game can take a while depending on the spell. Dual wielding is also a skill, so when you dual wield, your right hand damage is decreased, and so is your left hand damage. So increasing the skill will reduce that negative effect. Your shield skill is just increasing your chance of block, and attack, defense, and charm magic just increase the magic of those skills respectively. These will come into effect once we get spells, because each spell will say something along the lines of like the identification spell for charm will identify a magic item of a certain level, and that level that we can identify up to will increase the higher our charm skill is. And speaking of mana, or stamina, we have run out of stamina. So I'd like to finish exploring this dungeon, so I'll probably come back if there's anything terribly interesting.
You have been granted new skills.
Oh, we got a level. I will be holding off on using most of my skill points and ability points increases until we really have to. That is because I don't know where I want to go quite yet. I don't know if I want to do like magic or do more of a weapon-based sort of build of run. It really will depend on what our weapons end up being that we can pick up, either through drops or quest rewards. So it will kind of play it by ear with regards to that. But in my experience, at least early on in the game, we don't really need it. We can really just kind of get through with no stat increases, but just increasing our gear, like our weapons and armor.
Your pack is full.
Okay, so now our backpacks is full. So what we can do is we can start transferring things to our pet and have him hold stuff for us. I'm gonna actually take these health potions because we are not going to be using those anytime soon. Okay, and we'll hold on to our fishing pole. What we can also do is using like a shift click, we can have our pet pick up items for us directly. Oh, I'm stuck. So yeah, first floor, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Nothing too difficult or intense. Sometimes you get unlucky and have a pretty rough start, but overall, pretty good. I've explored most of this floor. I don't think there's really much else to be gained from this. So let's go back to town because we will have a bit of money from selling items and we have a quest to turn in, which again, we always want to try to have to turn in our quest as quickly as possible. Torvis, thank you. Ah, you found the flame cutter. Amulet. Oh, yeah. Ah, you found the flame cutter's Elven Amulet of Warriors. And here is your reward. My thanks to you. So we got experience, fame, gold, and the scimitar of protection. Awesome. So that almost actually gave us a whole level. And we're not really close to a fame level yet. So let's check this out. Okay, so this is just a purple, unfortunately. So it's better than our axe because by the nature of it simply being a higher tier of sword, there's not really a clear distinction like for the classes. Like I think our pet has an axe, yeah. So like we have this crude hammer. Oh, I guess that's not quite a good example, but like there's like within the axe class there are better axes that have better base damage, but it's not really super clear other than like just looking at the damage numbers. So the scimitar is definitely just a better sword class weapon. Not really sure if this is worth us speccing into swords quite yet, especially since we'd also need to spec into a bit of dexterity. So I think we're going to hold off on that. We're not really having too many issues with things, but let's go ahead and sell things off.
A good day to you.
We can sell things to any merchant. It doesn't really matter. But one thing that I will say is like when we sell things, it'll go into their inventory. And if we fill up like this whole inventory with stuff and we sell something, we can't buy it back because it just is like disappeared. So you got to be mindful of that. There's also no like buyback system, so if you misclick, you're kind of in a bad spot. And we can have our pet sell items to the merchant as well directly. So we're just gonna sell pretty much everything. We'll keep the town portal scroll for now. Probably get rid of these mana potions because they're kind of not worth anything to us. At least the small ones. We'll hold on to the obsidian. We'll keep that. Okay, so this is Jin the Seer. She sells like magic items and staves and rings and such like that. And so within some of these spells, we can take a look at. Like for example, like this is what I was kind of mentioning with the charm skill or the different magic skills. This town porter spell opens a portal to the town of Grove on dungeons level 2 or above, and it works at +2 levels deeper per charm skill level. So we're too poor to buy this right now, but you know it's kind of cool to check out. So early on, I like picking up an identification spell or even a I forget what it's called, but there's a spell that we can use to recharge our stamina. So this is Rollo the Minstrel. We can pay him to increase our fame, or our renown rather, but it costs gold, so pretty expensive. This is Drea the healer. She'll just heal you for free. She's amazing. In the cemetery area, along with the quest NPC, we have Rico, the enchanter. So for a price, he can enchant our items for us, or attempt to. Sometimes nothing will happen. Sometimes we'll get some enchantments on it, or sockets added, or sometimes the item will become cursed, or it'll be completely destroyed. It's kind of a gamble. It's this whole idea of tempting fate. Then we have Sam Wen. He removes the gems from an item but destroys the gems. There's another NPC similar to him that will do the opposite, where he will remove the gems from an item but keep the gems, just however destroying the item. So this is Dell. He sells your kind of straight up martial weapons and armor. Generally don't buy a lot from NPCs early on because you're just better off getting drops from creatures or quests. This is Zim. Zim is probably the merchant we're going to see the most of because he's the gambler, and I have a crippling gambling addiction. So essentially all these items are enchanted, but we don't know what their enchantments are going to be. However, they are cheaper than buying an item that's already enchanted from a shop. So these are way cheaper to buy here and take a gamble on than buying at another shop with enchanted items that have already been identified. So, for example, this scimitar we could buy for 320, and maybe it's better than what we have. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. It could have some negative effects on it. It could have sockets. Who knows? This is also what I was mentioning about the different tiers of like weapons. So, for example, this saber is, has attack damage of 3 to 9, but the scimitar has 4 to 11. So it's a higher class of weapon. Also, some weapons are superior or I think perfect or whatever prefix to it with this star here. That just basically means that of all the other composite bows, this one has better stats, like better base stats. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna buy anything for now. Like I said, we're pretty poor. I think there's some more NPCs on the right side of town, but before we do that, let's check out, see if we have any quests that we can do. So that's 4th level. Not really interested in that. Really want something on the 2nd level. This is the fishing hole, by the way, where you can go fishing. So these fish here. So the fingerling refers to how long our pet will be transformed, and the name of the fish is the type of animal that it'll transform into. So this will transform our pet into a timber wolf for 120 seconds, which is not bad. Certainly not one of the best ones, but...
Good day.
Ah, here we go. I've heard tales of the goblin named Poison Crusher, who roams the 2nd level of the dungeon. I'd sure sleep better if I knew that goblin wasn't around. So yeah, it's on the 2nd level, we'll take it.
You have received a task.
I don't think he is giving us anything other than, yeah, experience and fame, which is totally fine. Alright, let's throw some of these potions in here. These mana potions that we're not using since we don't have any spells. I'll hold on to the fish just in case of an emergency where we really need our pet to be buffed up. So instead of scrolls, we can buy these books, which take up more space than a scroll, but have 10 uses. So we're gonna buy a book of town portals and identify. So we'll do that. It's also cheaper per unit to buy a book than a scroll, because a scroll is 100 per one use, and this is 50 per use. I always like to carry my fishing rod on me or on my pet, because in dungeons you can have those spawn. So Gengar is the opposite of the gem modification that I mentioned. So he'll extract the gems, the item will be destroyed, but the gems will be free. So that's cool. Gets the Traveler is an NPC that will just be selling kind of a random assortment of stuff. He'll have weapons, he'll have armor, he'll have potions and spells, so it's always worth checking him out, especially. He's one of the NPCs that can actually spawn within the dungeon as a shop, which is really nice. The rest of the NPCs in town are quest NPCs. Let's jump back into the
You enter the
dungeon.
portal.
And again, we can only have 3 quests at a time, so we can't really load up on them, unfortunately. Level 2. Alright. So, I was just about to say something, and then I was immediately proven wrong. I thought that if it was like a lava level, you couldn't fish, but clearly I am mistaken. I've never seen that before. Oh. So sometimes the enemies will do this. They'll actually will run away, and some enemies are more common for running away than others, and it's not always about them being scared. Sometimes they'll actually kind of lead you into traps or lead you into other groups of enemies. So I think this is a sign. We have a lava fishing spot, not 1 but 2. So I'm going to sit here and fish until I get a full inventory or something cool, or both. I don't know which one yet. We weren't lucky. We didn't really get anything particularly great. We did get a lot of these fingerling roughies, which are griffin transformations, which I think is one of the better ones in the game. And we also got a dogfish, which we can use to return the pet to its original form. But unfortunately, nothing else other than that was terribly interesting. No legendaries or anything like that. But yeah, all kinds of fish in this game. Snapper for a brain beast. Interesting. So yeah, had some okay money, I think. Got some pieces of jewelry as well, so we'll go ahead and get our roughies on the bar. An interesting thing to note too is that if the items are on your hotbar, they do not take up an inventory spot. So always good to keep your bar full up.
You have gained in experience and skill.
We have gained in experience and skill. A superior short sword. Whoa. Crazy. Let's go ahead and just use that because it's just better than our axe. Short bow. Wow, that is really low damage for a bow. Hey, we got our first magical item! Yay! And it's already identified. Even better. Yeah, I don't think we'll be using a staff for right now. We already found the exit to the next floor, which is good. We can leave here as soon as we're done with our quests. If we don't feel like exploring anymore, which generally I don't worry about too much about exploring the full dungeon if I don't have any quests down here. I'd rather just keep pushing to lower floors and get better items and such. Because we can always come back and get more experience. Ah, poison crusher. And bats. So I think that means the other one might be nearby. This guy hurts. I have to use a potion here. Definitely will have to use a potion here. Oh, he's resistant to my main damage source.
Grown more skilled.
Hey, we completed the quest.
Is completed.
Yay, we're the best. And as you can see, yeah, our pet can level up too. It's a shame they didn't drop a magic item. That would have been pretty nice. Yep, so we got a fountain of stamina, so if we run out of stamina, we can use that. I think there's also fountains of rejuvenation, which will increase our, or restore our like health and magic. So that's nice. Getting lucky on the superior and weapon drops, but none of them are magical, which feels kind of bad. Oh, lots of bats. Lots of...
Your health is low.
Lots of bats. Oh my god, there's so many bats I can't pathfind through them. Where's my dog? Where's my pet? Doggo? Doggo? Doggo, eat the fish? Eat the fish and carry me, please? Oh my gosh. I'll take care of the slime while you take care of all the other hard things. Please? Whew. Hard carry by Indy here.
You cannot carry anymore.
No, we are...
The quest is completed.
Full up. Okay, so this is a pickaxe. And a thing to note that I always forget is that it counts as an axe. There's not a separate pick skill. Oh, our inventory's absolutely atrocious right now. Oh, we should put that antidote on our bar. Because it's nice to have one. Put the stamina on our bar. Move everything over. Requires 28 strength. Stats are okay. Don't really want to use it though. We completed both of the quests down here, so let's just go ahead and finish maybe exploring a little bit more of this big area at least. Because big areas I think tend to have the more interesting item like world spawns. Oh, we got a book of identify. That's pretty nice. Alright, I think that's it for this level. So let's go ahead and use our town teleport. Go back to town, turn to the quest, and get some new ones. Maybe buy some items too, since I think we're going to have a good amount of gold now. And we haven't really gotten any gear drops the whole time, which is pretty rough. It's going to really start hurting here very shortly as things ramp up.
You have gained in experience and skill.
Leather boots of the magician. Okay, well that's something.
Your pet has grown more skilled. You have gained fame.
Hey, our pet gained a level and we're famed. We are now tolerated. Huzzah! Let's grab some quests. Dragon Hammer, the Despoiler, the Cave Beetle. Third level of the dungeon. And, okay.
You have received a quest.
And Torvus, level 3. Awesome. So now we have 3 level 3 quests, which is the next one we're going to go on. We definitely want to get some gear upgrades. Because right now we are woefully undergeared, I'd say. She has an identify spell, but we quite literally have not gotten any items to identify, which is insane. Usually I get something at this point. So are these quests gonna give us anything terribly useful? Literally none of them give us an item reward. Okay. That is rough. So I think what I'm gonna do is gamble. We can't afford to gamble. Alright, let's see if we can rough it on level 3. Purple items are magical, teal are unique, yellow are artifacts. I will 100% not remember that. No matter how many times you show it to me, game. Well, put that on the trap counter. We've been lucky enough not to encounter one of those, but there's our first one. Oh, Ranloth. I think this might be one of our quests. Don't remember exactly. It's not too bad, at least. Okay, and he gave us a magic item. An identified item. Our first one, finally. Oh my.
The quest is completed.
Okay, so that was the quest. Perfect. So we're gonna just go finish all the quests on this floor and then we'll turn them all in. But let's check out this unidentified sword, level 1. We'll use our book to identify it. +1 life bonus. So we're not gonna use that because our superior short sword is better. But at least we got something. Hey, Pico the Fisherman. This is one of the unique fishermen. One of the unique NPCs that I think only appears in dungeons, and he exclusively sells fish. So we can see if he has anything. Sometimes he'll have like the permanent ones, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know if it like will increase. Like, I hate traps. I don't know if it will increase like the odds of him having longer duration fish with how deep we are in the dungeon, or if it's like tied to our level, or if it's just completely random. Okay, well, yeah, you have magic. Good for you. Oh, there's another NPC down here. Hey, it's Gets the Traveler. Do you have anything that would help me not die right now? Not really. Nope. Nope. Guess I'll die then. Oh, slag. The relic. Going down pretty easily. So that wasn't one of our quest items, or monsters that we had to kill, but he still spawned. Oh, hey, look at that. A unique. What was the tier ones? I don't know. Uniques though. Okay. That damage is pretty good. It's slow though. I think it's still better. Oh, we need 35 strength. That's a lot of strength to invest. But I think it's probably worth doing it. Yeah, let's try that. Just something different. X class. Okay. And I think if we want to increase our skill in the axe, it just increases our damage and attack, which attack is, I think, our likelihood to hit. Ghoul Fighters, Smiting Large Axe of Bronze. I love the names in this game. They are fantastic. Oh, Dragon Hammer. That is definitely one of the ones that we need to kill. And Batflinger, which I don't know if that is one of the ones we need to kill, but that's a little unlucky that they spawn on top of each other. Hopefully our dog can distract one.
Is completed.
While we take it. Yep, perfect.
Your pet has fled.
So that's bad. If our pet goes to 0 health or 1 health or whatever, he'll start fleeing and he won't fight for us anymore, which is bad because I really need him. Okay.
You have completed a quest.
Whew. So that guy was summoning rats, which is scary. But thankfully we can give our doggo some health potions as well, which is good because he's our carry. Did we get anything from that? Knocking sword of the fox. No. We got absolutely nothing from almost dying other than completing all of our quests, which is good. But we haven't really gotten any drops, any sort of upgrades other than this battle axe, which has been decent. Very tactful level up there, because whenever you level up, we get full health and mana. So I didn't really want to level up until I didn't want to use any potions on myself, since I knew I was going to level up shortly. Or level up, but our experience bar is the white bar above our stamina, right down here in the middle. So yeah, I think I'm just going to finish exploring this dungeon level and and see if we can get some upgrades.
You have triggered a trap.
I hate traps. So that trap in particular can sometimes poison you, so we got lucky there. Alright, well that was the other dungeon. Very quick. So let's go back to town.
You step into
Turn in our quests.
Your notoriety has grown.
Yay, we got fame increased. Yay, we did it.
Your pet has increased in power.
Alright, so let's see what we got here. Looks like there's only 3 NPCs with quests for us right now, so we'll just take what we can get. So, he lost his Goblin Grinder's Guiding Helm of Life, as you do. Okay, so this one we just need to find an item. And give us a shield, which is good. On the 5th level, though, which is a bit far from where we're at right now. Hopefully we can get a quest or 2 on the 4th floor.
Well met.
The forest tent who's been stealing my chickens. Please help me. Do away with Broad Duck. And my livestock will be safe once again. I heard he was on the 5th
You have received a
level. Okay, so that's also on the 5th level. Maybe we'll just get all 3 on the 5th level, which wouldn't be terrible. We'll just rush the 4th level. Baltic gel called Imikzaral the Defamed. Attacked a caravan. Okay. And he'll give us a reward of an item. Cool. So these are all level 5 quests, which is convenient. Let's go ahead and sell our items that we've gotten. Which isn't much, all things considered.
Good day
You
to
feel
you.
refreshed.
Let's see if we can gamble something good. Because I know we're not going to be able to get to the 5th floor with what we have now. I'm looking for... I don't know if we need a weapon per se. Maybe some armor. Are we even close to buying any of these weapons though? 382,000? Oh my lord. 49 strength to wear these gloves? I don't even think I have enough strength points to get to 49. Oh, I do. 6.6k. Could we buy something else as well? Oh, these are cheap. Take that. Actually, I don't mind buying this because you don't need to spend points on it. So let's try see what this has. Hey, we got something good. Really good. Ice Drinker's Superior Disciple Studded Cap of the Tusk. +5 axe skill bonus. Oh yeah, that is awesome. That is a huge... So we go from 13 to 22 damage to 18 to 27 damage. Oh, that's amazing. And our attack goes up. It also boosts our stamina and our defense. Alright, so with that, guys, I think we're going to end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll continue on our delve into the dungeon next time. We've got some pretty sweet upgrades now. I feel a lot better about going deeper into the dungeon. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me, and I'll see you next time.